Hello, everyone. My name is Garth Fisher, Senior Solutions Engineer here at Martello Technologies, and welcome to another use case video. Today, I will be talking about Teams and Microsoft 365 outages and how to limit how they affect your business lines. The first thing to mention is that Teams and Microsoft 365 relies on Microsoft services, but that's only a small part of the journey. Therefore, outages can come from anywhere. Technically, they can come from Microsoft, from your ISP, your proxy service, your session border controller, your SIP trunk provider, or your actual internal infrastructure. So let's see how to spot them as early as possible. To detect an outage as soon as it starts, it is very essential to test the service continuously. For that, we have our Vantage DX robot users. These robots continuously test the features of the main workloads of Microsoft 365. For example, they send emails, they create meetings, they upload documents on SharePoint or OneDrive, they do Microsoft Teams calls, video calls, or use its collaborative services. So the board you're seeing here is an overview of all the tests we're running, but there's more data on the other boards if I go to them directly, like this one here, which is our Exchange Online test. So the robot, you want to put it at your locations because that's the best way to get that end user experience or that site level end user experience. So as you can see, the robot's doing a lot of different actions as far as how end users can use Outlook. And I'm not going to run over all the different tests, but you can see them all there. And then it's going to rate your locations depending on, how they performed or what may have taken the longest time to actually perform that action. So that's one of them, but we also have our OneDrive/SharePoint robot dashboard here, where the robots again deployed at your locations, doing synthetic transactions. They're logging in, uploading and downloading. And I believe we're coming up with, we should be releasing a create folder as well in this workload. And then the other one is Teams Advanced, where you can see the robots, doing their synthetic transactions. They're accessing Teams from the different locations, connecting, creating channels, posting messages, uploading, downloading, etc. And of course, reporting back on which sites took the longest to perform those actions and which actions took the longest. So these synthetic transactions check the performances from an end user perspective as well as the availability of that service. As soon as one or multiple robots starts to fail to access the service, Martello's Vantage DX raises an issue or an alert. So right away, you know exactly when the outage started, what Microsoft 365 and Teams features are affected, and where. But if you want to go deeper in the analysis, you can start to look at the performance reporting dashboard that shows data on the outage symptom by symptom. So here is what I was just showing you was our real-time dashboards, but we were leveraging Power BI for that historical view. So here you can come in and just sort of get an overview of what's happening across your different sites. But I've picked Boston here on purpose, so we're only focusing on Boston. And you can see that the outage, it started earlier in April. It affected Teams, not with everything completely being unavailable, but with a performance so bad that it can prevent users from using the service. Now, that would be the same for Exchange Online, OneDrive or SharePoint, or any other Microsoft 365 service. But if you might want to know where the outage comes from, right? Is it Microsoft? Is it your ISP? Is it an internal issue? For that, we can check our network latency test, I should say. So here you can see that we're testing several different things with our network path visualizer or diagnostics, and it's looking at Teams, Salesforce, and Oracle. So it's not just focusing on Microsoft itself. We can target any endpoint that you're interested in. So when we click into like Boston, for example, right, it can clearly show you that there was packet loss that was affecting the traffic on the last hop before entry into the Microsoft front door. So now you know exactly who is responsible for the outage, what is going on, and where exactly it started and when. So you can decide to contact the service provider to understand the remediation processes that they have in place or how long they expect the issue to last. What is critical here is to detect outages and get an early understanding to provide information to your business lines about the expected duration of the outage and potential workarounds during that outage. With Vantage DX, you don't have to wait for a hypothetical tweet from Microsoft to know if it is a Microsoft issue, and you are not left in the dark during the first hour of the problem. Right away, you can detect, qualify, and provide the right information to your users to limit the potential bad outcomes of such outages, as well as to limit the tickets that are coming in. Well, anyway, thank you for listening and stay tuned for more new use case videos.